The year 2387 marked a turning point for humanity. For 100 years, humans had built homes on 17 different worlds across the stars. They had created ships that could travel faster than light, and machines that could turn dead rocks into living planets. Earth was now united under one government, and humans had made friends with 12 different alien species they met while exploring space. Commander Jake Martinez was flying his patrol route near the edge of human territory when something strange happened. His ship's computer started beeping with an incoming message from somewhere far away. The signal was powerful and used multiple alien languages at once. Jake called his communications officer, Captain Lisa Brooks, to help him understand what the aliens were saying. Lisa worked for 3 hours to decode the message. When she finished, her face went pale. The message came from something called the Galactic Council. This was a group of 43 different alien species that had ruled this part of the galaxy for over 3,000 years. They were the most powerful force anyone had ever seen. The message was short and scary. The Council told humanity they had 7 days to stop expanding to new worlds. Humans had to give up all their military ships and let the Council control their colonies. A tall lizard-like alien named Vex the Lore spoke for the Council. He said humans were too violent and grew too fast. The Council thought humanity was dangerous and needed to be stopped. Jake sent the message to Earth immediately. Admiral Kate Sullivan, who commanded all human military forces, called an emergency meeting. She gathered President Dan Foster and the Global Defense Committee in the war room. Dr. Amy Johnson, Earth's top expert on alien life, studied the message carefully. She told everyone that accepting these demands would make humans into slaves. Colonel Ben Clark had been studying alien history for years. He brought shocking news to the meeting. The Council had done this before to 6 other species in the past 400 years. 3 of those species had surrendered and now worked as slaves on Council worlds. The other 3 had refused to give up. Those 3 species no longer existed. The Council had killed every single one of them. The room fell silent as everyone understood what this meant. The Council was not just asking for surrender. They were planning to destroy humanity if humans refused to become slaves. This was not a choice between freedom and slavery. This was a choice between slavery and death. President Foster stood up and looked at each person in the room. He asked for a vote. Should humanity surrender and become slaves, or should they fight back and risk total destruction? Every single person voted to fight. Humans would not bow down to alien masters, no matter how powerful they were. Admiral Sullivan got orders to prepare for war immediately. She sent messages to all human colonies telling them to get ready for attack. Diplomat Helen Carter tried to contact moderate aliens in the Council who might help humanity. But the Council's position was firm. They had decided that humans were too dangerous to exist as free beings. Fleet Admiral Roy Parker began moving the entire Earth Defense Fleet into position. Humanity had 2,147 warships of different sizes. Some were small fighters with 1 or 2 crew members. Others were massive dreadnoughts carrying thousands of soldiers and enough firepower to destroy cities. Chief Engineer Sam Wells started installing new weapons that human scientists had been working on in secret. These weapons had never been used in real battles before. The 7 days passed quickly. Human colonies began sending away people who could not fight. Families with children left for safer worlds deeper in human space. Scientists and engineers stayed to help defend their homes. Every human colony prepared for siege. On the last day, President Foster sent humanity's final answer to the Galactic Council. Humans would not surrender. They would not give up their ships. They would not accept alien rule. The message was broadcast on all frequencies so every species in the galaxy could hear it. The Council's response came within hours. Massive alien fleets appeared at the edges of human space. Ships from dozens of different species moved toward human colonies like a dark wave. The aliens brought overwhelming force. They had thousands more ships than humanity possessed. Their technology was older and more advanced. They had been fighting wars for thousands of years. But the aliens had made one critical mistake. They thought humans would be easy to defeat because humanity was young and small. They believed their own propaganda about human weakness. The council members had spent so long ruling over weaker species that they forgot what it meant to fight someone who refused to quit. Admiral Sullivan watched the alien fleets approach on her command screen. She turned to her officers and spoke, words that would be remembered forever. "They wanted a war," she said quietly. "Now they're going to learn what human war really looks like." The Galactic Council had started this conflict expecting an easy victory over a primitive species. They were about to discover that humanity's greatest strength was not their technology or their numbers. It was their absolute refusal to accept defeat, no matter what the cost. The war began that day, but the aliens had no idea what they had just unleashed upon themselves. The alien attack began with terrible force. Over 12,000 council ships from dozens of different species moved into human space like a storm of death. Their first target was New Phoenix, a peaceful colony where families had been building new lives. The attack was brutal and fast. Governor Mike Torres tried to surrender when he saw the massive alien fleet approaching. He sent messages on all channels, begging the aliens to spare the civilians. But the council ships did not respond to his pleas. Instead, they opened fire on the colony's shields and kept shooting until nothing was left. The battle lasted only 6 hours. When it was over, New Phoenix was gone. The aliens had burned the entire planet from space, killing Governor Torres and 8,000 innocent people. They did not even try to capture the colony. They simply destroyed everything that lived there. Admiral Kate Sullivan watched the destruction from her command ship. Her hands shook as she saw the reports coming in from other colonies. Haven was under attack by insect-like aliens called the Kreks and fish-like creatures called the Nereid. Colonel Sandra Lewis was leading the defense, but her forces were badly outnumbered. Sandra's troops fought for 3 days without sleep. They held the colony's main shield generator while alien ships pounded them from above. The Kreks sent ground troops that looked like giant bugs with sharp claws. The Nereid attacked with weapons that shot streams of acid. Sandra's soldiers killed hundreds of aliens, but more kept coming. On the 3rd day, the shields finally failed. Sandra sent a final message to Earth before the aliens overran her position. "They're not taking prisoners," she said. "They're killing everyone. Women, children, everyone. This isn't war, this is murder." Dr. Marcus Thompson was a scientist who studied how people think during war. He explained to the Earth leaders what was happening. "The aliens made a big mistake," he said. "They think killing our people will make us afraid. But humans don't work that way. When someone tries to kill our families, we don't get scared. We get angry." Captain Lisa Brooks was listening to alien radio signals when she discovered something terrible. The Council had never planned to accept human surrender. The 7-day ultimatum was fake. They had already decided to kill every human and take their planets for themselves. 3 alien species had already picked which human worlds they wanted to live on after the genocide was complete. When President Foster learned this truth, he called an emergency meeting. "They want to wipe us out completely," he told his advisors. "This isn't about making us surrender. This is about making us extinct." He signed orders for something called the Total War Protocol. This meant humans would use any weapon and any tactic necessary to survive. Fleet Admiral Roy Parker started using new battle plans that confused the aliens. Human ships were smaller than alien vessels, but they could move faster and change direction quickly. Captain Alex Turner commanded a group of destroyers that surprised everyone with their tactics. When a massive Council dreadnought was attacking a human supply convoy, Alex made a decision that shocked both sides. He ordered his 5 ships to ram the alien vessel at full speed. The human destroyers were destroyed instantly, but they punched holes in the alien ship that caused it to explode. 8,000 alien crew members died in the blast. The aliens could not understand why humans would sacrifice themselves like this. In Council wars, ships retreated when they were losing, but humans kept fighting even when they knew they would die. This made the aliens nervous and confused. Chief Engineer Sam Wells had been working on secret projects for many years. Human scientists had been studying alien technology since first contact. They had learned how to copy alien weapons and make them better. Dr. Rachel Stone's team created new guns that could break through alien shields in seconds. Engineer Pete Rodriguez built systems that made human ships invisible to alien sensors. The real surprise came during the Battle of Titan Station. Commander Jake Martinez was defending humanity's biggest military base when thousands of alien ships surrounded him. The aliens thought they had won an easy victory. They moved in close to destroy the station and kill everyone inside. But Jake and his team had been planning a trap. The station looked weak and helpless, but that was fake. When the alien ships got close enough, hidden weapons platforms came out of the asteroid field around the station. At the same time, Admiral Gary Mitchell's fleet jumped out of hyperspace behind the aliens. The Council forces were caught completely by surprise. They lost over 400 ships in the ambush. Even more important, the humans captured several alien vessels with their crews still alive. For the first time in the war, humans had prisoners to question. The alien prisoners were terrified. They had expected to fight primitive humans with simple weapons. Instead, they found themselves captured by enemies who fought like demons and used technology they did not understand. The interrogations revealed crucial secrets about Council military plans and political problems. The aliens began to realize they had made a terrible mistake. Humanity was not the weak, young species they thought they were destroying. Humans were something much more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The information from captured aliens changed everything. Admiral Kate Sullivan and her team, led by smart tactician Colonel Frank Davis, learned that the Galactic Council was not as strong as everyone thought. Many alien species had been forced to join the Council through war and threats. These species secretly hated their rulers and wanted freedom. Dr. Amy Johnson studied the alien prisoners and found important weaknesses. The bug-like Kreks had very weak breathing systems that could be easily damaged. The fish-like Nereid could not survive in dry places for very long. The lizard aliens called Saurans became slow and sleepy when it got cold. Humans started making special weapons designed to hurt these specific weaknesses. Captain Alex Turner, who had become famous for his sacrifice attack, was promoted and given command of the first human attack mission. His job was to strike at Kepler Tertius, a mining world that provided rare metals for Council weapons. But instead of fighting ship against ship, the humans used sneaky tactics they had learned from old Earth wars. Small teams of human soldiers, led by Lieutenant Nick Cooper, snuck onto the planet before the main attack. They planted bombs throughout the mining facilities while alien guards were not looking. When Alex's fleet finally arrived, the explosives went off at the same time as the space battle began. The attack worked perfectly. The Council lost not just the mining equipment but also 12,000 alien workers and soldiers. More importantly, humans recorded videos of the destruction and sent them to alien worlds across the galaxy. The message was clear. Humans could strike anywhere they wanted, anytime they chose. Fear began spreading through the Council's member species. Fleet Admiral Roy Parker approved even more aggressive tactics. Captain Lisa Brooks led a secret mission to break into the Council's main communication center on Vex Prime. Her team included bomb expert Sergeant Tom Bradley and computer specialist Janet Miller. They had to sneak past thousands of alien guards to reach their target. The mission was extremely dangerous, but Lisa's team succeeded. They uploaded a computer virus into the alien network that did more than just disrupt their communications. The virus also downloaded massive amounts of secret information about Council military positions, supply routes, and political problems. Humans learned which alien leaders were fighting with each other and which species wanted to quit the war. The stolen information revealed something amazing. 3 Council member species were seriously thinking about switching sides. The furry mammal-like Velhari had lost too many soldiers and wondered why they were fighting humans at all. The rock-like Chromax found the other organic species disgusting and only joined the Council to avoid being destroyed. The energy beings called the Flux were peaceful by nature and had been forced to help against their will. Human diplomats led by negotiator Paul Anderson began secret talks with these unhappy species. They offered military protection and good trade deals if the aliens would provide information and eventually leave the war. The strategy worked better than anyone expected. The Velhari started telling humans where council fleets were going. The Chromax sabotaged alien shipyards from the inside. The Flux began giving false information to council leaders. Meanwhile, humanity's factories switched to full war production. Engineer Sam Wells oversaw the building of automated shipyards that could make vessels faster than ever before. Each new, human ship used lessons learned from battles and captured alien technology. The newest human destroyers could outrun most council ships while carrying weapons as powerful as alien cruisers. Dr. Marcus Thompson's Psychological Warfare Division began operations designed to break alien morale. They broadcast recordings of council war crimes against human civilians back to alien homeworlds. This caused riots and protests among alien species who thought they were fighting a defensive war. They also spread false rumors about human military strength, making aliens think humanity had more ships than they really did, and making them underestimate human battle plans. The campaign reached its peak during the Battle of Meridian Nebula. Admiral Gary Mitchell's fleet faced the largest council armada assembled in over 1,000 years. The aliens expected a normal battle where their superior numbers would guarantee victory. Instead, they met human tactics that combined advanced technology with psychological warfare. The humans used the nebula's radiation to hide their movements and launch surprise attacks. They coordinated with their new Velhari allies who attacked council ships from behind. They deployed new quantum weapons that could destroy multiple ships at once. The aliens found themselves fighting an enemy they could not see using weapons they did not understand. The battle was a disaster for the council. They lost nearly half their assembled fleet and were forced to retreat in panic. More importantly, 7 member species completely withdrew from the war effort. Some openly joined humanity while others declared they would no longer fight. The Galactic Council's certain victory had become a desperate fight for survival. As news of the defeat spread across the galaxy, more alien species began questioning why they were fighting humans. Protests erupted on dozens of worlds. Some alien governments fell as their people demanded peace. The Council's authority, built over thousands of years, was crumbling in a matter of months. The humans pressed their advantage without mercy. Strike teams hit Council supply bases across the galaxy. Human fleets appeared at alien worlds without warning, demanding surrender or promising destruction. The psychological pressure was enormous. Aliens who had ruled the galaxy for millennia suddenly found themselves afraid of a species they had tried to exterminate. Admiral Kate Sullivan realized that humanity had reached a turning point. The Council was no longer capable of organized resistance. Their member species were abandoning them or switching sides. Their military forces were scattered and demoralized. The time had come for the final phase of the war, but the humans were no longer thinking about just winning the war. They had seen too many of their people murdered. They had lost too many colonies to alien brutality. The survivors wanted more than victory. They wanted to make sure that no alien species would ever threaten humanity again. The Council had started this war expecting to exterminate humans. Now humans were going to finish it in a way the aliens would never forget. The final phase of the war begins when humanity transitions from defense to complete annihilation of the Galactic Council. President Dan Foster, influenced by the deaths of over 2 billion human civilians, authorizes what military historians will later call the Scorched Galaxy Campaign. Admiral Kate Sullivan is given unlimited authority to use any means necessary to end the threat permanently. The human fleet, now numbering over 8,000 vessels and supported by allied Velhari and Chromax forces, begins systematic destruction of Council infrastructure. Captain Jake Martinez leads the assault on the industrial world of Soren Prime, homeworld of the reptilian species that dominates the Council leadership. The humans employ a new strategy of total warfare that targets not just military assets, but the economic and political foundations of alien civilization. Chief Engineer Sam Wells has developed planet-cracking weapons based on captured Council technology combined with human innovation. These devices can shatter a world's crust, making entire planets uninhabitable. The first target is the Council's military academy world of Discipline Prime, where alien officers are trained. The weapon test succeeds beyond expectations, creating a debris field where a planet once existed. The message to remaining Council forces is clear: surrender or face extinction. Dr. Rachel Stone's scientific team has also perfected biological weapons tailored to specific alien species. The Krex insectoids face an engineered plague that attacks their respiratory systems. The Nereid aquatic species encounter contamination that makes water itself toxic to their biology. The Sauran reptilians discover that human chemical weapons can alter the temperature regulation in their blood, causing system-wide organ failure. Fleet Admiral Roy Parker coordinates multiple simultaneous offensives designed to prevent any organized Council response. Admiral Gary Mitchell attacks the Council's primary shipyard complex at Beta Centauri, while Captain Alex Turner leads a strike force against their main weapons research facility. Captain Lisa Brooks commands the assault on the Council's political center at Galactic Prime, targeting the government buildings where alien leaders coordinate their war effort. The psychological impact on remaining Council species is devastating. Engineer Pete Rodriguez's intelligence networks report mass desertions, political upheavals, and complete societal collapse on dozens of alien worlds. The Galactic Council's member species begin turning on each other, with some attempting to negotiate separate peace agreements with humanity, while others propose sacrificing the Sauran leadership as scapegoats. The war's turning point becomes a complete rout when humanity captures the Council's supreme military commander, Fleet Marshal Zen Kathros. Under interrogation led by Colonel Sandra Lewis, the alien reveals the location of the Council's ultimate weapon, a stellar engineering project capable of causing suns to go supernova. The aliens had planned to use this device to sterilize human space if conventional forces failed. Admiral Kate Sullivan authorizes an immediate strike against the stellar weapon facility. The mission, led by Commander Jake Martinez and supported by Captain Tom Bradley's demolitions team, succeeds in not only destroying the weapon, but capturing its technical specifications. Human scientists reverse engineer the technology within weeks, giving humanity the ability to destroy entire star systems. The final battle occurs at the Council's capital system, where the surviving alien leadership has gathered their remaining forces for a desperate last stand. The engagement lasts only 6 hours. Human forces, supported by their new stellar manipulation technology, threaten to destroy the system's sun unless the aliens surrender unconditionally. Faced with the extinction of their species, the Council capitulates. The peace terms dictated by President Dan Foster are harsh beyond any precedent in galactic history. The Galactic Council is dissolved permanently. All member species must pay massive reparations to humanity for the deaths of 2 billion civilians. Former Council worlds are placed under human military occupation. Alien military forces are disbanded entirely, with their former personnel subjected to mandatory re-education programs. Most brutally, the 3 species responsible for initiating the war face permanent restrictions. The Sauran leadership caste is exiled to a single world under human supervision. The Krex insectoids lose their right to colonize new worlds and must submit to human population controls. The Nereid aquatic species must provide forced labor for human terraforming projects for the next 5 centuries. Dr. Amy Johnson establishes the Alien Monitoring Division, which maintains surveillance over all former Council species to prevent future military buildup. Any species found developing advanced weapons technology faces immediate military intervention. The galaxy learns that humanity does not simply defeat its enemies. It ensures they can never threaten human civilization again. 10 years after the war's end, the galaxy exists under what historians call the human peace. Former Council worlds prosper under human administration, but they do so as client states rather than independent civilizations. Humanity has proven that when pushed to extinction, they respond not with heroic resistance, but with calculated, systematic, and absolutely brutal elimination of any threat to their survival. The Galactic Council started a war they expected to win easily. They discovered too late that humanity's greatest strength was not their technology or tactics, but their willingness to do whatever was necessary to ensure their species' survival, regardless of the moral cost. The aliens learned that humans do not simply fight wars, They end them permanently.